Hello, Airfield Club members. My name is Travis Maple. I'm the winemaker here at Airfield Estates. And unfortunately this year we were not able to do our club release party, which gives you guys a great opportunity to interact with us and ask you these great questions about the wine. So we want to do something very special for you guys at home. And let's just kind of like record these little fun videos so that way you guys can get my in-depth take about what makes these wines so unique and special. This wine, the next wine that we're going to be trying, this is our 2018 Dolcetto. The great thing about 2018 Dolcetto is we don't grow very much of it. We actually only have like a row or two at our estate vineyard, but it really definitely showcases how well the varietals from around the world, not only do they excel in Washington State, but they thrive in our estate vineyard. This Italian varietal is a really fun varietal to work with, mainly because of its complexity. And everything that we do with this varietal starts out vineyard. So this is what we consider a reserve tier wine. So when we make a reserve tier wine, we start out in the vineyard. And that starts with cropping our grapes to a very small yield. And that's going to allow more of these really fun, complex varietal aromatics to really kind of be showcased in this wine. When we bring the wine into the cellar, that's when the real magic happens, because this is a very delicate varietal. When you're working with a wine that has a pH such as a Dolcetto, there could be a lot of challenges that are present to it. So what I do with this wine is I want to make sure that we destem it, but we do not crush the wine. The stems would not be very good inside the fermentation anyway. What we do is after the harvesting is done, it's just in a very small 2-ton vessel. And with that, what we're going to do is we're going to do a process called cold soaking. For the next 72 hours, we're doing really nothing except for making sure that there's no oxygen in the tank. After the 72-hour period, that's when we're going to start to warm these grapes up. And then I'm going to inoculate these grapes with 3 different yeast strains. And it's really fun to be able to operate with 3 different yeast strains because each yeast strand is doing something really fun for the wine. I inoculate with the yeast strand that's going to really help with this abundance of fruit, one yeast strand that's going to help with the varietal characteristics, and the other yeast strand to make it so that the wine goes dry. Especially when you deal with a high pH varietal, those fermentations can really struggle towards the end. And so by incorporating that 3rd yeast strand really gives us that assurance that these wines will go dry in the skins. When we're working with the Dolcetto, Dolcettos have a very, very delicate approach that we need to have. So again, it's great that we put these into very small 2-ton fermenters because our approach is going to be delicate from the time that we start fermentation all the way to the end, typically by only doing about 2 punch downs per day. And that gentle approach is really what's going to help really entrap these beautiful aromatics inside the Dolcetto. The Dolcetto really kind of has a lot of these really fun concentrated red flavors. So you get some red licorice, some creme de cassis, a lot of almost like a hint of cranberry and strawberry preserves. A wine like this, definitely we want to make sure that we're keeping the beautiful purity of that fruit intact. And so what we're doing is we're not really wanting to give this any new oak. So this wine was actually aged in about 5% 2-year-old French oak and then 95% neutral French oak. And what that 2-year-old oak does is it just gives it just a really fun small layer of complexity, a little bit of that savory spice. And I think you'll pick that up on the palate because there's some kind of hints of that savory sage characteristic on this wine, making it a very, very enjoyable wine. And when you talk about the roundness of the wine, the fact that it's incredibly smooth, you're going to see a decent presence of acidity, but it's not going to be over the top. The wine is going to finish very lush. It has a very soft profile to it as well, making this wine very, very enjoyable for a lot of foods, but it's an Italian varietal, so it's definitely going to be really highlighted with a lot of Italian food as well. Beautiful aromatics, beautiful wine. A wine like this is definitely meant for aging as well. These wines were just bottled in April, so they're still very young in the bottle. What I would recommend to you guys at home is, before enjoying this wine, is to remove the cork and let the wine sit for about 30 minutes to an hour, giving that opportunity, that wine an opportunity to breathe. Or if you have a decanter, decant the wine too, and I think you'll be really impressed with those results if you're going to be consuming this wine very young. Again, with this wine having great ageability, I feel like this wine is probably going to reach its peak about 2029. And then its optimal maturity, being the best that this wine will be, is probably going to hit around 2026 to 2027. With the approach that we have for winemaking and our style of wines here at Airfield, we know that this wine is going to be great for you guys to enjoy at home right away, or you guys can put this wine in your cellar for many years and still have it be really fresh and enjoyable for you. Well, I hope everyone at home, you guys enjoy this Dolcetto. Thank you very much for being club members, and cheers.